2 big deep breaths. Sit back. Listen in. What advantage you had, you've let him have. What's happening is, Dean Mills of old. He's throwing a shot and he's stepping out, and you're standing still throwing shots. You've got little arms. How are you going to land?
Step in.
Step in, but you're not doing it. You're not doing it, and you're throwing singles.
Yep.
Okay, when he finishes his work, the name of the game now is when he finishes, on him, on him, on him. You've got 3 rounds to win the fight.
Yep.
Yeah, frustration from the red corner.
Yeah, Sykes is digging the punches in now. You can see him looking at the target, looking round the side and then thumping those in. And those body shots will be part of the reason that Mills is slowing down a little bit and more easy to catch with the punches.
Fourth round, scheduled for 6. Gary Sykes showing the sort of form he did in 2009, which has put him into the mandatory position to fight for the British title as a purse bid next week for a match with Ricky Burns, the current British champion, but Burns may be fighting for a world title against Roman Martinez, so it's got to happen soon for Sykes, maybe very soon.
Yeah, but it's always dangerous, you know, when these marking time fights, when you're on the verge of a British title fight, because sometimes you go in with the wrong attitude, but that's not the case tonight. Sykes has kept it sharp, kept it lively, and he's boxed well.
The way he finds the position to throw that left hook. Just that lack of power might hold him back down the line. Could be some tough fights when he's really up in class, but I think he'll be in good ones, Jim.
Yeah, but good aggressive style, you know, he stands his ground, he doesn't flit around the ring. You know, he makes openings, and you can see him at times, you know, actually looking for the target, placing the punches well. I mean, okay, when you move up to title level, you won't have the same opportunities, but I would say he's well ready.
Mills has only been around for a couple of years, so plenty of time at just 22. It's a hard match for him. He's certainly not disgracing himself in any way. The work rate of Sykes, though, as well as those long arms, are troubling him. That's better as he gets in close. That's what cornerman Glyn Mitchell asked for. Sort of throwing caution to the wind.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to take chances, Mills, to get himself back into this. But the problem is, when you're in without the smooth operator, if you throw caution to the wind, then you're going to get pinned on the counters. Still, as you've said, he's giving it a good go, keeping it really competitive.
Just the accuracy and added ability of Sykes taking these rounds. And he's brave, but he's backed up on the ropes. He doesn't want to be there at all, Mills. With that short, stocky, compact style.
Yeah, and as things slow down a little bit, he's just a little bit more open to the punches as well now.
Yep, another one for Sykes.
Yeah, you almost had him going a little bit there. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Okay, so we need that work rate now.
I know.
Listen, just like with Crawler now, we can just go up those gears. Let's go into a gear that I cannot cope with, okay?
That's something I'm going
This is your fight, you're commanding this fight, you win every single second of this fight.
You're not using the jab enough, that's the problem here. Stick the jab in his face and push him back.
That's sensible comments from the corner.
Yeah, good advice, and I had the feeling that the longer it went, the class of Sykes would start to take over, but there you are, just a little reminder, Mills still has something to offer. Near the uppercut, landed a couple of those up close, there's the second one. So yep, still giving it his best shot, Dean Mills.
Halfway through the first half, you're going to...
Quality punches from Sykes. Silver and blue, remember. of the Dewsbury prospect, Gary Sykes. Jimmy McGowan, his trainer, was telling us that he thinks he throws around about 100, 120 punches every round, and the average fighter only about 50 or 60. That work rate is going to hold him in good stead. He's very fit, Sykes. Former ABA featherweight champion in 2005.
He's very good defensively as well. You could see a couple of punches off, then the hands were back up, step back out, back in again, more punches off. Good concentration, good defensive work.
Yeah, difficult to fight, I would have thought, Jim.
Yeah, he's well schooled. I mean, you've mentioned a couple of times how good an amateur he was. And you know, the good habits he's learned in the amateur game have stuck with him.
A couple of times we've seen him, and we've seen most of Sykes' fights, he's been a little bit lukewarm, but he was really good against Crawler, and he was really good against Harry Ramagodi as well, who's a tough former Commonwealth title challenger. I mean, would you fancy Sykes against Ricky Burns or one or two of the other top super featherweights, like Andy Morris, maybe?
Yeah, you would give him a chance against those guys. You would maybe have those guys as the favourite going into the fight, but you would give him a chance. And you have to remember too, I mean the fighters raise their game when the title's on the line. I mean, this is a marking time fight for him. He's probably looking ahead of this one. So this has been a good performance considering that.
Nice right hand going in from Sykes. Just less from Dean Mills. Not in terms of effort, just in terms of punches that he can get off and combinations from Sykes. Beginning to get harder for the Somerset boy.
To be effective, Mills would have to be coming forward, and Sykes is not allowing that to happen. He's pushed him back against the ropes for most of the last couple of rounds, just standing his ground, not surrendering his ground, just pushing Mills back.
Still pushing the punches out, Dean Mills. Fair play to him. He really wants to win this, but he's not.
Listen, okay, Miles in front now. Now listen, everything's lovely, but you're really sickening him with those right hands, right? So what I'm going to do, let's not jab a move, let's give him some work now, yeah?
Yep, you see, I mean, he's pushing Mills back. Mills has tried everything he can to get himself into this fight, but Sykes not allowing it, just standing his ground, not giving any ground, forcing him onto the back foot.
To the ropes, and you let those little hooks go. Don't walk him up like that.
Treble the punches landed.
Punch as you walk.
From Gary Sykes. Good workout.
Okay.
10 seconds.
Good round coming out.
Not with combinations now, 6 and 7.
Good round coming out, okay?
Second head for the 6th and final round.
Well, you've got to be a good fighter to beat John Murray a couple of times in the amateurs. Also, he's sparred with Amir Khan, Gary Sykes. He's one of our top contenders. And he's heading for victory number 14 against the rugged and strong and brave Dean Mills, who's going to come at Sykes. One last hurrah, one last charge.
Yeah, Sykes has to expect some kind of desperation from Mills. He knows he's losing, the corner knows he's losing, so everything he has left he's going to pour it out in this last round here. So maybe the first half minute or so, first minute, just take things easy, then pick the pace back up when the storm has kind of blown over.
He's been good value though, Dean Mills. Winning 3, 2 losses, 2 draws, only 7 fights. He'll be asked back, won't he, by the matchmakers?
He just walked onto a lovely left hook from Sykes there. It's just sheer effort. Tactics have gone out the window from Mills. He's just giving it his best shot, as he's done all the way through. Lovely uppercut from Sykes, to obviously leaving himself a bit more open than even he was in the previous rounds. Mills.
Still, Sykes pumps out the punches. Is this the sort of pre-title fight he needed, though, Gary Sykes?
Yeah, I mean, it's not been a punishing fight, but it's been a busy fight. It's been hard work every round. He's had to work every second just to keep himself in control. This is exactly what you're looking for in a warm-up fight. You know, a little tune-up that doesn't mean anything, doesn't do any good, but this is a tool sharpener, this one. And there'll be things about the performance maybe that he doesn't really like, and he'll address that if the title fight comes along.
It seems like he's got a good trainer in Julian McGowan. He's given some excellent advice through the course of this. I'll go back into the gym and work on what needs correcting for the big one. A little uppercut there. There's plenty to like about Sykes.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a British title class or thereabouts, and this is a difficult fight to judge him against. I mean, when the title's at stake and you're fighting a class of performer, you can settle down. Difficult against this kind of performer who's giving it everything. You just have to kind of, in a way, drop your own levels a little bit, just grind it out with him.
Blood to the nose of the brave Dean Mills, who deserved to go the distance. No doubt about who won the fight, though. Gary Sykes remains unbeaten in 14 and on course for that shot at the British title. Decent night's work. And a smile on his face. Seems happy.
Yep, and you can see the stats underlining just how convincing the victory was, but full credit to Mills. He made it entertaining and competitive all the way through, and a good workout for Sykes.